Welcome. This is the All Around Growth monthly call, the monthly Zoom call. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. It is 4:30 p.m. That is March 31st, 2026. And I am here live. At this point in time, no one else is here. So we are recording, and if you're catching this later, welcome. Let's go ahead and begin this recording with a little prayer. O heavenly King, Comforter, the Spirit of truth, who art in all places and fillest all things, treasury of good things and giver of life, come and abide in us and cleanse us from every stain and save our souls, O gracious Lord. Moving forward, these calls are going to be unrecorded when other people are present. The goal of these calls is to create a space where we can speak freely without worrying about what is being recorded, what is being shared, what content is being created. These aren't coaching calls. This isn't therapy. And these calls aren't part of the podcast. These calls are intended to be part of, well, they're intended to be part of what we're doing with Patreon. It's conversation. It's conversation grounded in an Orthodox Christian way of life. The best way to think about what these calls are intended to be is like this. Think of it like a conversation after church. Think about it like coffee hour. Real, honest, but not forced. A lot has changed over the last few months with everything. Um, I got married. School has taken a uh, basically is has become the priority in my life, and I have stepped back from the pace that I was previously operating at with the podcast. The show itself has shifted into something quieter, something different. There's less personal narration and more reflection rooted in the life of the church. There's not a lot of content out there that indicates that is the direction of the show, but as time goes on, you will see that that is where we are headed. Also, for those of you who listen or have listened, you'll notice that all of the past episodes are archived. They're not gone, they're not deleted. Nothing has been erased. I'm not trying to make anything go away, but they're archived, set aside, reorganized, and over time, I will make those available here on Patreon as a private archive, but that will happen gradually as time allows. I've got to do some reorganizing and some restructuring and build that up into its own feed. So bear with me as I do that. Patreon. What this serves as is a smaller space for those who want to stay connected a bit more closely. So moving forward, that will include early access to episodes when applicable. That will also include the private Telegram group. And for those of you who aren't aware, we have the Telegram group for everybody, all listeners. And then we've got our own private Telegram group, the Patreon Telegram group. And then these calls. Nothing complicated, no heavy schedule, just something steady, something reliable, something consistent that you can count on, and people that are dependable, reliable, trustworthy, people that you know. Now, the last episode was an episode going into Great Lent, and we are now coming toward the end of Great Lent. Lazarus Saturday and Palm Sunday are just ahead. And right after that, Holy Week. This is a different part of the fast. The beginning has passed. The rhythm of the fast is familiar. And what remains is more difficult. We're in the home stretch. The church the church is has been guiding us the entire time. We've got we've got services that give us a framework all week long. And it's not so much just what we do externally in terms of the services, but it gives us a framework in terms of what's happening internally as well. And I think that now, maybe more than ever, is a good time to ask what has actually changed. You know, it's important to think about that during these fasting seasons because it's easy to focus on our failures and all the things that we get wrong. My spiritual father told me that our goal should be during the fast should be simple, and our goal should be to do better than the last fast. And that ties into what the last message was about earlier in Lent. I shared a message from Metropolitan Saba who reminded us that fasting isn't just about the table. It's not simply refraining from eating certain things. It's about the heart. And as we approach the end of the fast, this becomes a little more clear. And the question isn't simply about what we've avoided, but the question is about what has been softened and what's been exposed and what has been opened and how our hearts have been opened. So as we move forward toward Holy Week and our focus becomes even more centered and less about the effort that we're putting forward and more about the attention that we're putting into and on the reason why we do what we do, stay with it, stay present, and stay close to Christ. We're almost there. In closing, I'm going to keep these calls simple and consistent moving forward. I am going to continue to try to keep these toward the end of the month and give a few days notice in advance. Um, the date is subject to change. However, I don't really see a reason to make any changes at this point in time. We'll see what the schedule looks like moving into the summer semester. But right now, I think it's safe to say that the schedule that it has been will continue to remain. So just know that if you join in the future for a call, that this is a place for real conversation to happen off the record. And if I'm currently recording like this, then what will happen is I will simply hit pause or actually just stop. And whatever script I have will be tabled for another conversation, another recording for another time. Because the reality is, I appreciate you being a part of the Patreon group. I appreciate you being part of the support that helps keep this humble podcast going. And I appreciate you being here with me, whether it's live or in this case, whether it's listening later. So, with that said, I that's that's it, guys. That's all I've got. And I have an outro somewhere, and I don't even know what it is. So that's how organized we are. We're not. But you know what? Try to do better. I'm not worried about it. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.